You can jump in here on Jones and Mego with Arcan, 617-779-7937. Some fiery takes about the Celtics and their grotesque offense, along with some Patriots thoughts with the schedule coming out yesterday. What does it tell us about Drake May and when we'll see him? For more on all this, we're joined by Tommy Curran of NBC Sports Boston, and he joins us here on WEEI. He's brought to you by Drains by James. At Drains by James, they give a poop about your pipes. What's going on this week, Tom E?
Hey, that was jaw-dropping inanity by the guy who just called.
What was that?
About the Celtics?
Oh, the Celtics one. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
What are we talking about? It's a 64-win team. You can't watch it?
It's unwatchable. It's unwatchable.
TV.
No. I was going to say, if you want unwatchable, get ready for Sundays at 1 o'clock this year, Tom. What'd you think about the schedule? I know the 1 o'clocks. I don't think it's disrespect would be the word, but it is eye opening that they're just Sunday at 1, Sunday at 1, Sunday at 1 every effing week.
Yeah, and it's reality, and we got a dose of it last year. I think people are like, wow, it's a whole new era, I guess. It was already upon you when they flexed you out of Sunday Night Football, despite the fact that Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes were your featured opponent last year, and you ended up getting flexed to a 1 o'clock game against the Chiefs in December. So, but this is their reality. They are not suitable for prime time, and they're going to have to earn their way back in. And to earn their way back in, they have to be a team that people want to watch. It is definitely attached to who, and Mayo doesn't have the gravitas, nor does Drake May, nor does Ramondre Stevenson or Christian Gonzalez or Christian Barmore. But you can build it by being an entertaining product, and I hope that that's what they can build to a little bit.
Tom, in your column this week, you indicated after the schedule release that you could see a stretch between the London game and maybe Week 10 where Drake May is named the starter. What do you think the progress behind the scenes has to look like for Drake May to take the field and, just overtake Jacoby Brissett?
I think it has to. And I love this conversation just because it is so undefined. Like, I truly believe, and Jones and I have already gone around about this and we'll continue to for the next couple of months, but
no.
He has to win by knockout coming out of camp, and he's got no shot to do that. I don't think he'll even win, but I think he ought by knockout to be given the opportunity to start coming out of camp. So if he's not starting coming out of camp, you're going to give the first month to Brissett, unless there's an injury or he's totally inept. What does it have to look like behind the scenes, though, Meg? It has to be, in my opinion, unanimously throughout the organization, a sense that we would be better right now, or we have the potential to be better on the field with Drake playing than we do with Jacoby Brissett. It has to potentially better. Sorry, buddy.
My bad. I wanted to ask you about David Andrews and his extension today because during the season it seemed like it was 50-50. He was going to retire at the end of the season. He sort of hinted at that, and then he said he was coming back for another year. Now he's extended that another year plus. Why the turnaround, do you think?
I think that there is a real sense among a lot of players of, all right, I want to see how this goes. I want to see how this works out. You've heard it articulated by guys like Josh Uche and others who've said, I wanted to come back and be here for this next iteration of what the Patriots are going to be. And I can't blame them if they feel as if they have unfinished business here. Andrews wouldn't want to go out, and he wasn't going to on a 4-13 season. But I think it's also incumbent upon the organization to say, look, we're going to build going forward. We are in a full-on rebuild. The things that we can salvage on our roster, we are salvaging right now, and we're keeping them around because we don't want to be in flux. I think it's important, too, to think about what we saw at the rookie minicamp last week with Layden Robinson and Caden Wallace next to each other on the left side of the line. If that ever comes to pass, they move on from Cole Strange, for instance, or Corafor does not become the left tackle starter, you would want to have David Andrews there to kind of shepherd that group forward, the two left guard and left tackles.
Talking to Tommy Curran, NBC Sports Boston. He joins us here Thursdays on Jones and Mego with Arcan on WEEI, also Tuesdays on EEI with Gresh and Fourier. We've asked you before about Tom Brady calling games. Florio seemed to have some insight on the games Brady could be working, specifically Patriots games he could be working this year. I know we've asked you about generally just hearing Brady on these calls. We could hear him 3 out of the first 5 weeks of the year on Patriots games. How's that going to go with Brady and this team in your estimation?
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what his feedback would be to the network in terms of whether he'd want to be deployed on the Patriots right away. I bet he would. I don't know. I would guess, but I'm not certain that he would say, why don't I do somebody else at the start? But how in God's name, you cannot give a guy who's making $25 million a year Patriots Seahawks. I read what Mike wrote, and he thought Patriots Seahawks, a rematch of the 2014 Super Bowl, had some draw. It's Gerard Mayo against Mike McDonald, Geno Smith against Kobe Brissett.
I liked in your column, Curran, you said I have to Google real quick. Who is the coach of Seattle? Because I agree. I'm like, who is that?
I was at a loss. And again, until further notice, all of these guys who are near and dear to us because they're here, we've covered them, we know them well, we got to be objective and say there's no reason to send Tom Brady to cover the first home game of Gerard Mayo post-Bill, unless you're going to try and really wring that storyline out.
Tom, I was listening to your guys' podcast earlier this week, and you talked a little bit about Alex Van Pelt and what you saw from him in the little bit of rookie minicamp and how much he may be handling Drake May's development. What do you think Alex Van Pelt really brings to this situation that might make him underrated in the eyes of perhaps my co-host, some others who pontificate on offensive coordinators in this market?
I'm going to tell you what they should be able to say more frequently. I don't know what he brings yet, and I also don't know what he doesn't bring. But to register a completely hard sell opinion based simply on the guy's resume and where he's been and the fact that he was let go from Adams, it's not conclusive enough for me to say he's not going to be good. But I guess that people feel a hell of a lot more secure in their opinions, or their opinions are more disposable than mine to want to walk out on that plank. I think, given the people who have been around him, which is the only thing he can base stuff on, is he is good for young quarterbacks. He is a good developer. And I know that Jones actually has articulated, I do believe, that he can see that, but he has it's on whether or not he's a play caller.
Yeah, well, he definitely has not done a ton of that. That's true.
Tommy, before we let you go, I was wondering what your thoughts were on the Patriots schedule day video with the Goodwill hunting with Julian Edelman and et cetera. What, did you see that? And if you did, what'd you think of it?
You know, my number one thing, and I asked Phil about this today, Perry, I said, Phil's really pissed off. Does he get mad at Ernie for helping out?
So that dawned on me today, too. We were just talking about that off the air. That is crazy.
I think it's probably just, Ernie, whatever you want, don't care. You want to help, fine. I mean, it was nice. You liked it there. Okay. Oh, it was going to be great. And, you know, I just, there's a fine line. I don't think it has to necessarily be pinned all the way on load the test and hate everything about the Patriots from Bill Belichick right now. And, yeah, I'm a little tired of their act, too. I think they were just tired of each other. So people like Brian Belichick is out there on the field coaching for them. Me as Ernie being, look, if Ernie was that pissed off at the organization in general, he wouldn't make himself available. I think Ernie, given all the times we have spoken to him, he's pretty pragmatic. And I think that he would say, yeah, we were really screwing some things up there. I don't know if I can even trying to do a decent Ernie Adams.
I think it's a good one. That's a good one.
It was like a wildebeest. So I do find that interesting, and I just can't wait. I mean, we are in the dead period now when we're talking about the team's videos.
Wouldn't argue with that. I do. Do you like the? Do you like what the schedule release has become, or maybe you just answered this by saying, "Boy, it's a dead period where we're really trying to drum stuff up," or do you like kind of what it's become that the NFL has turned it into an event?
I kind of like the event nature of it. I do. It's a really crappy schedule for the Patriots. I mean, Chicago is not a place I'd be dying to visit. Tennessee, Arizona, Miami. Otherwise, you get London's fine. You're on the border of Kentucky when you're in Cincinnati. You don't need that. You don't need that in September. That's hot.
No, it's true.
So,
it's warm.
At least there's no Christmas or Thanksgiving games this year.
That's true.
That's good for you, right?
That's got to be great. Working Sunday at 1 every week. That's got to be great.
Alex Van Pelt is going to ruin Christmas. If you read my, did you read the entire?
I did. I made it. Well, I'm trying to remember the Van Pelt line. Oh yeah, because they go for 2, right? You had them going for 2.
Yeah, they go for 2.
Yes.
They 31-30 after a Javon Baker touchdown with 4 seconds left. And Mayo goes for 2 against the Bills on December 22nd, and Alex Van Pelt calls for a Juju Smith-Schuster.
I know.
Gets sweeps and no shot.
And then you'll have to apologize to me for criticizing Alex Van Pelt before he'd even called any plays for the Patriots. That's true.
I'm going to call in sick that Thursday. I'm going to call in sick the day after Thanksgiving. No call.
Okay. He's Tommy Curran. Check out his work, NBC Sports Boston, Early Edition, BST, Quick Slants. You can hear him on Tuesday with Gresh and Fourier. You can hear him Thursdays here at 3:30 on Jones and Mego with Arcan. Tommy, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Thanks,
Tommy
Tom.
Curran.